Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Darren. Hope you're all safe and well and having a good stitchy week. So we're going to do a stitch with me. And hopefully not have my hands in the way. Still haven't sorted out a new tray project. Or phone holder, whatever you want to call it. So we're working on Mini Top Frog. Because it's Sunday and it's the only day I get to stitch on this one. Oops, apologies. You're also on charge as well. My phone is dying. Well, the phone that I use for my stitch with me anyway. Forgot to charge it up. So you're on charge while I'm working. I don't know how this is going to go. May get hit a couple of times. Tiger was trying to get on my knee. As soon as I set the camera up, come flying over. I was like, no, I need to stitch. Then he tried to sit on top of my project. So that's not working. Give me 2 seconds, let me see if I can get you up a bit higher. Because I keep hitting you. There we go. Maybe zoom in a little bit. There we go. Kind of. I apologise for any wobbling. So let's start with work updates as normal. It's been a bit busier than normal. Well, been a bit busy and then it died off a bit, and then what I'm working on, I was almost finished with the wood. And then 2 truckfuls came in. I was like, okay, I'm not really finished with this part. Thank you very much. So yeah, so I've got a busy week ahead of me. It's quite funny. If you watched my update video, I mentioned on Thursday I went to the hospital to see the specialist. And when I come back, 2 of the other lads were on my saw. I was like, whoa, what are you doing? You don't work on my saw. Anyway, the boss who deals with all the deliveries, etc., asked him to on my saw because he needed a load of a certain cut done. So he put him on my saw, and then he said, when is he due back? And I went, well, he's at the hospital. So I don't know. He says, probably won't be back till lunchtime. Is that right? So he set up one of the other lads' saw as well for doing the same thing. He said he might be quicker doing it this way. Because they needed 25 packs doing by the following morning. And it's like, well, you knew this order was coming up, so why didn't you start them earlier than what you did? So anyway, when I got back, I took over on my saw. The other lad went onto his saw and took the other lad with him to help. And then one of the other lads, he got moved onto his saw, got put onto doing the same thing as well. So yeah, it was a busy period. And then the boss come back from his delivery and he jumped on my saw with me. I was like, oh, can't you go and help somebody else? He went, nope. Oh, damn it. So I had the boss. Anyway, by the end of the day, we'd done 19 of the packs that were needed. So we still needed another 6. But we had 3 that were almost completed. So we had to finish those off in the morning. So, well, originally they said they only needed 5 in the morning, and then it turned out they needed 6. So I'm flying around first thing in the morning trying to get all these finished. we managed it. So we start at 6:30 in the morning. So it was all done. Ready for the boss to disappear. So the boss went at about 7:30, I think it was. 7:30, 7:45. So, because he had to wait for the son who deals with all the loads to turn up to do the paperwork. So, I don't know if I mentioned in my last stitch with me that the saw that they just spent upgrading got broke. Part of it actually snapped, so also good promotion for the company. And then something else went wrong with it, so they ended up having to get the engineer out. Anyway, he come out and fixed it all, so that's back up and running again. Still waiting to find out when my new saw's turning up. I don't think that's ever going to turn up, to be fair. The other new saw, they said it was going to be here within 3 weeks. Anyway, the 3 weeks have been and gone, and apparently it's going to be another 3 weeks. I was like, okay. So I don't know when they're getting their new saw in. It's definitely started cooling down here now as well. So obviously we're up at 4:30 in the morning for work. Now, because we're where we are, it's the temperatures get a little bit cold in the morning now. So we're down to anywhere between 1 and 6 degrees in the morning. Work is not too bad there. It's normally about 10, 11 in the morning, so that's not too bad, but that's due to change. The cold weather is coming in now really fast. Sat at a funny angle as well, so. So yeah, well, other than that, work's going okay. We had overtime yesterday, so today's Sunday. We had overtime yesterday. The only reason we had overtime is because one of the lads asked for it, and that's because they are doing the easiest thing going, which is just sorting through the wood. So they actually went up and asked the boss on, when was it, Wednesday, if they could do overtime. Because when they come around asking if we wanted to work on Saturday, I was like, it's only Wednesday. You don't know that, they don't know us till Friday. Yeah, we went up and asked. I was like, okay. And then when it turned out, they weren't going to be working on the saws. They were only going to be sorting the wood out. So that's why you asked, because you weren't going to be doing anything. You were just coming in and earning some easy money. So that's the only reason I went up and asked. So, but sorry, my hand's completely in the way. So yeah, but I don't mind going in and doing weekend work. We won't be working next weekend because it's Shane's birthday. It's close to being officially old, as he puts it. He will be 39 next Saturday. So he's wanting money of everyone so he can get his new tattoo. So here comes a couple of weeks of him moaning about the tattoo. I'm not even in view there. I don't like this tripod thing. So yeah, so we'll see how much money he gets for his tattoo. So he had his last tattoo he had was one of the Autobots. So now he wants the Decepticon on his other arm. So we'll see how that goes. The moment is down at the coast. He's helping one of his friends, well, his friends who he goes to visit on a weekend every now and then. He's moving. So Shane's just giving him a hand, putting some stuff in storage, etc. Try and turn you over now without knocking everything because I've got cables everywhere. So yeah, so he's down there at the moment. He went down really early this morning. He left here about 7:30 this morning. 7:30, 8 o'clock. And I phoned him up just before I started doing this, just to see what was happening, because I couldn't remember if he said everything was coming. He's bringing some stuff up here. A washing machine for his sister and some cupboards for us. And I wasn't sure if he was bringing them straight up or if they were getting stored at his mum and dad's. And it turns out they're coming straight up here. They're going to his mum and dad's. So they're getting stored at his mum and dad's until next weekend, I think it is. And then they're coming up here. I was like, okay. So, yes. But yes, it was only just on his way. And it's like, well, you went down there ages ago. Why are you only just on your way there now? But he was driving, and using his dad's car, because his dad's got a trailer. And we don't have a tow bar on our car, so he was using his dad's car. Now his dad generally doesn't let anybody drive his car. And when I found him up, he was driving the car. I was like, okay. So if you're driving your car, that means that your dad, who was going to help as well, is not going. Because I can't see him driving the car with his dad there. So yeah, so I thought he'd be on his way home by now, and he's not. Right. So I got the bargain of a lifetime. They've not turned up yet. They're on the way. But I was online, and someone was selling some Harmonic scroll bar things. So it's 2 lots of the bars that you put the dowels in that you attach your fabric to, and 1 set of side bars. Well, I think that's what you call them. And they're near enough, they look brand new, and I got them for a steal, and they're actually on the way. I was like, woohoo, I'm gonna get myself some sidebars, well, a proper scroll frame. So yeah, so they're hopefully going to be delivered tomorrow or Tuesday, I would say, because I got the tracking number from Australia Post. So yeah, so they're on the way. So woohoo! So now I'm gonna have to try and figure out how to make a sleeve or whatever you call them to store my scroll bars in, so that my projects don't get dirty. So yes, so excited. I actually looked on the proper Harmonic site the other day, actually, before I got these ones, because I was going to look at treating myself and seeing how much it was going to cost me to get a scroll bar, scroll frame, and they'd sold out of everything. Everything I clicked on it said sold out. And I said, what? You're the factory, you make them all, how have you sold out? I'm sure you can get some more pretty easily, but obviously not. Let me move this across a bit, because there we go. So yeah, they'd sold out of everything, so I was like, okay, you dropped unlucky then here. I do have a couple of questions, which I will go through in a moment. one of which I found because I got told off for not answering the question. Last Stitch With Me, it wasn't on a Stitch With Me post, it was on a normal update post, so I had to go looking. I found it anyway. Mum's doing okay. Don't know if what work's being done on the conservatory that she's having built. So someone asked if I would be sharing progress, well, pictures of it when it's done, like from where it started to the finish, and yes, I will share those when and if it gets finished. So when I spoke to my mum last weekend, I asked if my brother had been down the weekend before because he was meant to be going on the Sunday. She couldn't remember. I said, well, did he come yesterday? She went, I can't remember. So he's been down at one point and started putting the foundations down, but he ran out of the concrete, so he was having to get some more. And she said, as far as she was aware, it was going down the day I spoke to her. So I don't know if anything else has been done or what. But by rights, the wall should start getting built soon, which is good. So as I mentioned, I went to the hospital the other day to see the specialist. The doctor I spoke to was actually from the UK. She did all her training down in London because she was asking where I had my surgery and everything done. She's never heard of where I had it done because I had it done in Sheffield. And yeah, she was really nice. She was really helpful. She actually listened. I gave some tips and whatever. She was like, with memory stuff, she says you're best off to keep your memory sharp. She says they found out that the best thing to do is exercise, but not like exercise like running and stuff like that. She says something that's going to use your brain. She says so like doing dancing, because obviously you've got to memorize moves and stuff like that. She says, or like martial arts and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, okay. She says that's from the trials or whatever they've done, they found out that that's one of the best ways to actually keep your mind active. Because I told her I do crafting and stuff like that. So she says, well, carry on with your crafting. She says, but yeah, try and do some form of exercise or something like that, what stimulates the mind as well. It's like, okay. So yeah, she was asking me a load of questions. I had to do a couple of little tests with her just to see how things were going. So she did these tests to see whether or not I'd have to go and see the psychologist and whatnot, or to see if she could figure out which part of my memory issues was which. So I was like, right. So we did all these tests and that. So she advised that it'd probably be best just to see the psychologist, just so that they can work out for definite which part of my memory system is not working correctly, so that they can focus on fixing it. So yeah, so she was really, really good. And then she's advised that I have MRIs done every year. So, whereas before, my surgeon over in the UK was only going to do them for like up to 10 years, just to make sure that my tumours and that weren't growing back. And then he was going to send me off. And she's advised to have it done every year. She says just so they can, because of the type of tumour I had and the outcome of the tumours. So it was benign, but it had abnormalities. So she wants me to have MRI checks every year, just so they can keep an eye out, just to make sure it doesn't start growing back or anything like that. So I was like, okay, fair enough. So yeah. And then she told me to go and get some blood tests taken. It actually took me longer waiting to get the blood test than it did actually going to see the doctor. So yeah, so she was really nice. So she says if there's anything untowards with my blood test, she will ring me. She says if not, she will just write to me just to let me know the outcome of them. So I don't know how long it takes them to get the blood test back over there at the hospital. So she's not rung me yet, so I'm assuming all was okay with those. So that one she was testing for vitamin deficiencies, and I don't know what else she was testing for, to be fair. There was a fair list on there. So yes, now I just have to wait to hear from the psychologist. So she said they'll ring you first and then arrange an appointment and what have you, and they go into all your history, like what you was like at school and all that lot, just so they can judge on how your memory and that's gone. And so yes, so we just wait and see now. So I don't know when I don't go back and see her again until after she's got all the results from the psychologist and the blood tests and stuff like that. So I will be going back to see her again at some point. And her understudy, I think that's what you call them, was there. So she said you'll probably see her a fair bit in like appointments and stuff like that. Is that okay? Fair enough. Every time I've had to go and see a specialist, I've always had an understudy with them. So now I just have to tell the main HR lady that I may have to have some time off to go and do these tests, because apparently they take 7 hours at a time, and I have to have a couple of them. I don't know how many. She said I probably have to have a couple. 7 hours at a time. It was like, whoa, that's a long time for for an assessment. Last time I went to see the psychologist, when I first had my surgery done, because it's routine that they do it just to make sure that they've not done any damage or anything, my sessions with him was only, I think, half an hour to 45 minutes at a time, and I only had to have, I think it was three or four with him. So yeah, 7 hours at a time. Apparently you have to do all these pattern stuff and doing shapes and puzzles and all this stuff. I thought, okay, well, we'll see how we go. So I'll finish this strand and then we'll look for the questions. I know I've got a couple. Okay, to roll off. So, Denise, who had the baby not long since, well, I said not long since, he's nearly a year old. She found up yesterday. And I was like, does your printer scan? Oh, yes. Well, copy. I was like, yes, why? She says, oh, I need to get copies of her birth certificate, her partner's birth certificate, and driver's licenses, and that done. I was like, okay. I says, well, what do you need it all for? Going to register the baby. He was like, he's nearly a year old. She said, yeah, I know. So she says, that's the reason I need to get him registered. So yeah, so she's not even registered his birth, his 9-year-old. So she's going to get that done before his birthday, because his birthday's in July. I think it's July. Pretty sure it is. So yeah, so she's going to get him registered. I'm hoping it's anything with this holder that I've got on the phone. I can't see what part you'll see because there's a clamp that goes right across the screen. So I can't see if I'm in shot or not. My hand will be in shot. My hand's always in shot. It's always in the way. There we go. Yes, my back is very messy. Do I care? No. It is on this one. As I say, we've been max colour but only a mini. And yes, I carry my threads everywhere on this one. Oops, apologies, just knock you. Right, so let's get this next colour and then we'll find the questions. Oh look, more black. There's a lot of black in this area where I'm going to be working on now. The tiger cat coming back. Hopefully I've got the question on the other side. The voting for my projects is going really well. I'm having hundreds and hundreds of responses coming in for that one. It's going to take me ages to count them all up, but never mind. From the ones that I see pop up on my phone, there seems to be 2 or 3 very popular ones. I mean, obviously I don't see all the comments that pop up, but yeah, there seem to be 2 or 3 very popular ones on there. So, I have a funny feeling as I know which ones it'll end. Well, it's going to be close between a couple of them, that's for sure. Where am I? That's that one. That's so, right. Let's get these questions. If I can find them. There we go. Oh, I don't have many. Right, just one here. So this is going back from, I think it's my last video. And Sherry Gary asked, how tall am I? So I thought I was 5'8.5". So that half is very important. Turns out I'm not 5'8.5" tall. I'm 5'7.5". So in old school, that's, well, centimeters is about 174, 75 centimeters, something like that. So yes, shorter than I thought it was. So the next one is from So Make and Create. Also, before I answer this one, so yeah, for all those who sent well wishes and that for the sister-in-law with her endometriosis, well, I said it right this time. So she went to see. She didn't end up having any surgery. She's been to see the surgeon at the hospital on Monday just gone. Well, yeah, Monday the 22nd. She went and saw the specialist surgeon. So she has to have gone through all her MRIs and stuff like that. So they said it's going to be a really big surgery, but they need to do some tests on that first. Just to double check on how bad things are with all the stuff being stuck to her bowels and everything. So they said, like, there is a slight possibility that she may end up having to have a, what do you call it, a colostomy bag or something like that, depending on how bad it is with the bowels. So she has to have a colonoscopy as well to see how bad things are. And then once they've got all those back, they will do the surgery, and they're hoping to have everything done within 3 months. So yes, she's just waiting for appointments now to have everything done that needs to be done. She's had to start taking some form of medication to help with the surgery. So yeah, so hopefully it gets moving a bit quicker. So yeah, so she's on a few pills at the moment. So that actually leads to one of the questions that So Make and Create asked, is because she works in the NHS over in the UK. She's a paediatric nurse. So she's just curious as to what the health system is like in Oz compared to in the UK. So the health system in Australia is absolutely shocking. As I say, when you get referred to the hospital, they categorise you into category 1, 2 or 3. 1 is urgent, 2 is not as urgent, and 3 is you'll be seen whenever. Hence the reason it took 2 years for me to see the specialist. So yeah, so that part is absolutely shocking. With regards to whether you have to pay, if you're just going through the public system, then no, you don't. It just goes through your, it's called Medicare over here. If you're not going through the public system, then yes, you have to pay. If you don't have Medicare, so for example, if you are not a resident, like a permanent resident or a temporary resident, and you're just here on holiday or whatever, then yes, you have to pay. Or if you're on a student visa, you have to pay for hospital treatment, I believe. So yes, and it's not cheap. So you do have to pay a fair bit. Even the specialist who I saw says that the system over there is nothing compared to the NHS. It's like for prescriptions, whereas in the UK your prescription prices are all one set price per item. Over here you could have different prices for each item, so some things will cost you, say, maybe $15, some will cost you $60, some will cost you $100. So yeah, so yeah, it's a bit crazy over how the medical side of things work. Like I said, I don't know what it's like over the UK at the moment with regards to hospitals for like waiting times and stuff like that, but I'm pretty sure they're not as bad as they are over here. I mean, mean, the surgery wait list over here, they've got absolutely thousands of people who are waiting for surgeries, and have been on the wait list for over a year, some even 2 years. So yeah, it just depends on the type of surgery you need and how quickly they think you need it. So I hope that answered the question. Next one is from Darth Vader Stitchers, who wants to know. I'll tell you in a minute when I can find. There we go. How many stitches do you do before you mark them off on your chart? Yeah, before you mark them off, what you have done on your chart. So if it's on pattern keeper, then because I work by colour, well, I'll do like one strand of each colour. I'll wait till I've done that full strand of colour, and then I'll mark the stitches off that I've done. Because obviously it's easy to find. So it can be anything from 1 stitch to 50, 60 stitches. Sometimes more. It just depends which area I'm doing. If it's like a big block of, like, say, black, and I'll do all the black and then I'll mark it all off. So it just depends on how many stitches. But generally, just once I've finished doing the thread, I'll mark it off. Unless I've got to move the screen, then I'll highlight what I've done, move the screen, and then do what I need to do there, then select it all, mark it off. If it's paper pattern, then I will mark it off after I've done each strand again. So, but obviously with the paper patterns, 9 out of 10, that's 2 over 1 full cross or something like that. So you don't end up getting as many stitches, like about 35 stitches or something like that. Right, what's that colour? Oh, black again. There we go. And then last question is from Sue, who wants to know do you use Stitch Pal? If so, when does it say you will finish supersized match coloured tigers? And if not, why not? So I do have Stitch Pal. 9 out of 10, I forget to input details. So I will tell you in a minute when it reckons I will finish my supersized tiger. It's some stupid date, I think. So I'll tell you in just a second. Which way am I doing this one? Right, okay, so Stitch Pal, where is it? It's so often I use it, I can't remember whereabouts it is. Here we go. So, my supersized tiger. No. Oh, yeah, it's on the... Right, so... according to this, at the rate I'm working, I will... Well, you get 2 different ones on this one, don't you? So, for the amount of stitches I've done already, it reckons I will have this finished on the 19th of June, 2028. That's assuming I do 319 stitches a day. But on the other one, because I inputted all the stitches I've done already, it reckons I will have it done by the 10th of July this year. And that's doing 13,700 and 17 stitches a day. So yeah, so we'll go with the first one. So it reckons round about the 19th of June 2028. So I've got about another 5 years of working on it according to that. I know for a fact it'll probably take a bit longer, especially when people keep challenging me to do stuff, because that takes up my weekend. So I think once I've got this one done, I can get back to doing my supersized tiger how I want to. And like I say, next year, I think I'm going to go back to doing supersized tiger all weekend, so I can get it moving. Because I wanted to be closer to 50%. Well, I wanted to be at least, around about 30% by the end of this year. Wanted to be, then get to maybe 50% next year, but I don't think that's going to happen. So next year, I'm just going to work on those. On supersized tag at the weekends, I think, to get him moving along. Maybe. Oh, we'll see. He gets finished when he gets finished, doesn't it, really? So. But yeah, now I keep forgetting to put in the amount of stitches I've done. That's the one it's going to be completed, but never mind. Because I'm not used to using StitchPal, I keep forgetting to input information. Stray cat here. So that was all the questions I got. I have any more. This one I was hoping to get to 50% by the end of June. I don't think there's any chance I'm going to get that done. I'm way behind. I would need to do 23% in a month. So yeah, so I'm going to have to try and work it out so I can get this finished before the end of the year. Hopefully before Alara. But we will see. If I don't finish this by the end of the year, no biggie. Be one of my first finishes for the start of 2024. So yeah, so depending on whether I have to work weekends or not, depends on how often you see this as a stitch with me. So if I have to work most Saturdays, and this will be my stitch with me piece, because I need to get my working on it. Noisy crow out in the background, I don't know if you can hear him. for interviews we use scroll frames and a Lowry stand. You can get those, what do you call them? Big bar extenders or supporters or whatever. It's like the bar that goes across the middle, so you can connect it to your Lowry stand for the big frame, or big frame adapters. There we go. Which size adapters do you use? Because the frames that I'm getting, one is absolutely huge. It's 90 centimeters, and the other one is only 40 centimeters, I think it was. But I know there's two different size of the extenders, adapters. So which size? I don't know how they work, if they're adjustable to different sizes or not. So which ones do you do? Because I had a look on JK's, because that's the cheapest place to get them from. And she has two on there, 14-inch one and I can't remember what the other one is. So the 14-inch one will be big enough for the adapters, the scroll frame with the sidebars, because the sidebars are only 30 centimeters, which is 11-inch, 12-inch. So I know that one will be big enough for that, but do you go for that one, or do you go for the next size up and get the one that does, like, I think it's 20 inches or something like that. I can't remember what it was now, because I don't know how they work. So if any of you use those, please drop me a hint, because I know I'm going to have to buy one if I want to use it on my Lowry stand. I'm not going to get those last few stitches out of this. So yeah, so if any of you use the large frame adapters, or whatever you call them, scroll frame adapters for your Lowry stand, which one do you go for? Oops. What we at? 50 minutes. So the thing with this one, there's that many different shades of green. It's ridiculous. I didn't even realise there were this many shades of green until I started doing this one. So this one's what, about 200 colours or whatever. I think 190 of them are green. I'll do this strand and we'll call it a day for the stitch with me. And at least I've got a stitch with me done this week. So last week was I just did not have the time at all. I was hoping to get one done, I just did not have the time. I'll continue working on this piece as well today. I want to try and aim to get at least 1,000 stitches done. If I can get more, bonus. I think I worked it out, in order to get this finished by the end of the year, I'd have to do something like 2,500 stitches to 3,000 stitches a week. I was like, it's going to be really pushing it. Obviously, if I get a lot of bulk colour stitching, then that won't be too bad. But since this one's really, really confetti heavy, it's going to be a challenge. But we'll see how we go. I mean, once I've done this top row, then I can start colour completing because I can fit everything in. Where am I going now? That's where I am. There. 1, 2, there. Yeah, I can start finishing off some of the colours on here because some of them only have like a couple of stitches, but they're right down at the bottom. So hopefully I can start getting rid of some of the colours down, so that might ease it up a little bit and get rid of the confetti, so I can get some quicker stitching in, but we'll see how we go. I did that one wrong, didn't I? Yes, of course I did. That one, thank you. Alright, we're nearly at the end of this piece of floss. So, again, if you do have any questions or comments, please feel free to drop those down below. You can always email me. Email address as always is dizzysteacher@gmail.com. I'm also on Instagram as dizzysteacher, so you can message me on there as well. Oh, well, I think I did actually get an email from Pauline. But a couple of people have asked this as well. With regards to my Thea Governor piece, London. Wanted to know where I got it from. So, with the Thea Governor pieces, you can get some on Amazon. So you can search them on there. You can't always find the ones that you want. Or, what you do is, if you just go onto the Thea Governor website, so just, I think it's theagovernor.com or something like that. If you go on there, it tells you all about Thea Governor. But there is a section where you can message them if you're looking for a particular design. So if you message them, they will tell you who in your area, so you tell them whereabouts you live, but who in your area supplies the cross-stitch kits, so that you know where you can go to get them. And they will even give you a link to their website as well, if needs be. So that's what I did. So they told me where in Australia we're selling the London piece, and they even gave me, as I said, the link to their website, and I just went on there and ordered it, and it was, they even tells you how many they've got in stock as well. So when I did it, there was only one left in stock. So when I contacted the company, they just said, yep, that's fine, we'll put it to one side, and sort it out, sent the money, and then they sent it out. So yeah, they are really helpful with the Thea Governor site. So yeah, so if you want to know where to get any of the Thea Governor ones from, and you can't see them on Amazon or anything like that, just message them and they will tell you exactly who stocks them in your area. And if they have a website, they'll give you the link to their website, so you can go on and order it. So yeah, they are really, really good. So, right, I think I'll get these last 5 stitches done. And that'll be it for the stitch with me. I can get these two here, I think. Yep, no problem. And here. Right. So, we have done a total of... Oh, I'm going to try and get this one. And then round it up. Oh, yeah, easy. Just enough. So we have done a total of 330 stitches today, so that's not bad going for 56 minutes. Thank you. So yes, so that's a good hour stitching. Sorry, and then I catch you right at the end. So yes, that's what we're up to now. I still think this is so cute. So yes, so that's it from me then, guys. So again, thank you very much for watching. It's much appreciated. As I say, if you do have any questions or anything, then I'll say email me or drop them down below. And I will see you in my next update video at the weekend. So until then, take care, stay safe, happy stitching. Thank you very much for watching, much appreciated. Until next time, guys, bye bye for now.